David Croft, meet Doctor Who.
It's an absolute pleasure.
David, I need to speak to you.
Yeah.
You don't like us.
I'm not a fan of Doctor Who. Obviously, haven't seen the new series, but, you know, the rest, didn't like it.
Yeah, well, prepare to be converted.
Exactly. Christopher Eccleston is here. He's welcome to you, Chris. Nice
Thank
to have
you.
you here. David, just explain what your problem was, and then Doctor Who will beat you up.
My problem is, first and foremost, I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, but I struggled with the concept of Daleks that exterminate people, but you don't run upstairs to get away from them because they can't climb up.
That old chestnut.
I struggle with the concept that the TARDIS is
solved that.
huge and then small, and I struggle with the concept that this guy morphs into a different
He's
face.
a lost cause, Christopher. There's no point.
Every
in
time.
going
Your
on.
imagination was removed in your early youth.
Absolutely. I now struggle with the concept of a bit of Hessian stretched across a couple of poles being the new scary monster.
Being my new costume.
No, not your new. Is it Cassandra?
Ah, yeah, Cassandra.
Yeah.
Who's the result of 900,000 years of plastic surgery. The writer wrote that because he was so angry watching the Oscars.
It's like Cher.
Is it worth pointing out at this point, before we go any further, Christopher, that you weren't a great fan of Doctor Who yourself, were you?
Thanks for that. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was out playing. I didn't buy Doctor Who. I felt with a couple of the incarnations, Pertwee and Baker, to a certain extent, I felt like I was being lectured to by somebody from a public school, and that accent kind of excluded me growing up in a council estate and just outside Salford. I just felt a bit excluded from it.
They're considered the two of the finest, aren't they, by the real aficionado?
Yeah, they were brilliant. It's just emotionally, I didn't warm to them. I didn't warm to him. I felt like I was being lectured. I had enough of that at school. This is just a personal thing. Whereas with Connery's Bond, because of the Scottishness, because he sounded outside the establishment to me, and because I've got a northern accent and have a northern background, that's what I was looking for.
There's a great bit. In fact, it's my favourite scripted moment. Oh, it's all scripted, but in episode 1. But my favourite part in the script is where Billy Piper, your new assistant,
got
says,
a northern accent.
How come you've got a northern accent? To which you say,
Lots of planets have gone north.
which is a
There you go.
splendid
Russell
answer.
T. Davis. I wish I'd have written that line.
So can we just go back here? Because I think Christopher's made another mistake saying that
Back in time.
Connery was a better Bond than
Oh, you're
Moore.
gonna
I mean,
tell
it's
us-
another argument, but
George Lazenby.
no.
Connery was a better Bond than Moore.
But Moore was your archetypal Bond. He was
your
the best
imagination
Bond there.
was definitely.
Yeah.
Your sense of taste was removed
It's an
surgically.
eyebrow thing. Come on.
You're going to tell me a Chelsea fan.
Please
He's
no.
West Ham. Bill in Peterborough says, first time I've agreed with Crofty about anything, but he's dead right about Doctor Who. Utter trash, even for those days of cardboard sets. I hope the new version is worthy of Chris Eccleston's high talent. So,
Thank you.
in what way is your Bond different, Christopher, apart from being Northern?
My Bond, my
Yeah.
Who.
Your Who?
Yeah.
No, well, that's just a word
My
of prophecy.
Bond's a dream.
No, that's coming.
Jug-eared Bond.
They're
That'd be
looking
great.
now. This
That'd be
is
great,
It's a
yeah.
great calling card.
Yeah.
They're looking for that one at the
A
moment.
Jug-eared 007.
Yeah. In what way is your Who, apart from the accent, different?
Well, we should talk about the series, and particularly the wobbly set reputation, which frightens so many people off. We've addressed that. Children, adults watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, programs like that are coming out of America, very high production values. We had a great budget and we used it wisely. There is no wobbly sets in this series. The special effects are right up to standard, and we do the end of the Earth. We travel backwards. We travel forwards in time.
The TARDIS is back.
The TARDIS is back, redesigned interior, and I think is one of our finest hours in terms of the design and the way it integrates itself into the whole story of the Doctor. Because the soul of the TARDIS, because it is kind of, it's part organic, part technical. Soul of the TARDIS becomes key to the whole series.
Let's play a couple of moments from the brand new Doctor Who series. Starts Saturday at 7:00. Here's a flavour of how Doctor Who's going to sound in 2005.
I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life. Oi, you! Follow that hearse! That's more like it. Stay in there!
They're not dead.
It's all right. There's no heartbeat, no life signs of any kind. They just don't die.
I don't believe it. That's Richard Wilson.
It is, yeah.
So we hear a flavour from the music, obviously, that there's some things have changed, but not much. I mean, this I watched the episode last night and thoroughly enjoyed the fact that Doctor Who is back. But the soul of Doctor Who feels the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Russell T Davies is as big a fan of Doctor Who as you could find on the planet. Since being a little boy in Swansea, he watched the original series. You know, he probably remembers Patrick Troughton. He used to wander around Swansea dreaming that the TARDIS would appear. This is true, and that he could be the Doctor's assistant. He didn't want to be the Doctor, he wanted to be the Doctor's assistant. And this is one of our great, great writers. Gave us Queer as Folk, Bob and Rose, Mine All Mine, you know, Second Coming. And he is writing at the top of his form, and this is not throwaway. It's a romp, it's a Saturday night romp, but he's also very gently and very cleverly satirising certain things like Murdoch, like plastic surgery. He's having great fun with it. And he's been preparing all his career, I think, to write this.
It's an extraordinary thing to try and pull off, though, isn't it? Because not just keeping the legion of Doctor Who fans happy, which is one thing, but by putting it at 7 o'clock, you've got 8-year-olds watching, so you could be scary, but not too scary. But you've got to have the adults with you as well. I mean, you have to take everybody with you on this, don't you?
Yeah, it's a balancing act, and I think to a certain extent that rests on myself and Billy Piper's shoulders in terms of how we pitch the performances. For instance, when the Doctor's being pursued by what are some pretty terrifying things, a child wearing only a gas mask that may be alive, may be dead, huge monsters from outer space called Slitheen, I always tried to relish the whole thing. I never played absolute terror because he is a hero. And Rose, played by Billy, is a heroine. So if for 8 to 12-year-olds watching it, they see that the Doctor is not that frightened, apart from when the Daleks arrive, it invites them in, you know. So yeah, I enjoyed that. You know, a lot of my work, all of my work has been for the adult market.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
That's true. Shallow Grave and
everything is but you know, the sophistication that children, you know, need for you to draw them in. That was one of the appealing things for me. And you have to, you know, my Doctor is kind of a version of me as a little boy, really. All the curiosity and energy and lust for life you have as a child, and all presented by Russell T Davies' imagination. He was a big child himself, I think.
If you put your headphones on, Christopher, I've got a call for you. Here's Johnston in Macclesfield. Hello, Johnston.
Hiya.
Yes, sir. How old are you?
13.
Okay. Christopher Eccleston is here. What's your question?
I was wondering if, you know, are we just going to get one series, or will he be doing a second?
Will they be doing a second? Hiya, Johnston. Will they be doing a second? Well, that really depends on people like you, Johnston, and your family and everybody tuning in to watch it, because in the end it's about ratings. I think if we get good ratings, there will possibly be a second series. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Are you a fan of what's been on before, Johnston, the whole Doctor Who series?
Oh yeah, I've got loads of them on video and DVD.
Who's your favourite?
Apart from you, probably Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. Yeah.
But it hasn't actually been on for real during your entire life, Johnston.
I know, yeah, but it was my mum's cousin got me into it originally.
Right.
So, what is it about this very old TV series that you have watched in the past, and the new version turning up on Saturday? What is it that makes you such a fan?
I just generally enjoy it, you know. It's something I like watching.
What is it you like about the Doctor? You know, what is it about the Doctor's character that appeals?
The mystery.
Right.
We never know who he is, really.
Interesting.
Johnston, appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
That's a 13-year-old who's there already. And at the other end, sort of, the scale is John on an email, 36 years old and shaking with excitement. I just can't wait.
Good.
But they're the people that you have to pull in with you.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and it's funnier than I remember, but that's maybe because I'm a lot older now. But there is a scene in the first show, which is going out on Saturday, which is just Eric Morecambe.
yeah.
Right?
My great hero, one of my greatest heroes.
Okay, so the first thing to terrify you in this new series are the kind of like showroom dummies, right? Who come to life.
The Autons, for fans of the original series, you know, the Autons.
I didn't realise they were called Autons.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one of them loses an arm, which is down to you. So you've got this plastic arm, which after about 10 minutes attacks you around the throat.
Correct.
So you're walking around just the way Eric Morecambe did through the curtains, grabbing hold. How did you do that without bursting into laughter? Or maybe you did, and that's takes one and two.
No, I didn't. I mean, some people have bought that scene and some people haven't. They've found it too broad. I loved it. It appeals to my sense of humour.
What do you mean they found it too broad?
I think certain people have found that just too broad, that humour in that sequence. It might be the way I performed it. You know, actors are always going, could I have done that better? But I loved doing that, and I think it was cheeky. It's a cheeky way to start off with him, basically saying we can do what we like with this Doctor. We want the old fans to come along, but we're not going to be pinned down. You know, the whole series is about imagination and surprise, and as Johnson said, mystery. And we were pulling the Doctor and his image out of shape and playing with him, really. We wanted to reinvent it. We didn't want to make heritage television. We didn't want to just be a niche programme. We wanted this brilliant idea by Sidney Newman to be shared with a lot of viewers, because it is a classic idea, a man who can an alien who can move forward and back in time, and he deserves a broad audience.
Are you quite nervous about how it's going to be received?
No, I'm not, and for the first time, because what I know about it is the crew up in Cardiff, who were fantastic, and myself, and Billy, we worked as hard as we could. We put our hearts and souls into it. I know there's a real decent effort, and regardless of whether we get the ratings or not, I know that we've done a good job. That's why I'm publicising it. You know, if people embrace it, fantastic, but I know we did the very best we could. You know, and Russell T Davies's scripts were what drove us all on.
Here's a point from Lisa Kerwin, who's listening in St. Louis in Missouri. Says, Chris, I loved your performances in Jude. And Elizabeth, your talent is remarkable. If you know, how can an American tune into the new Doctor Who series?
Well, that's up to America to put their money where their mouth is, really. They seem to be hanging back. Canada's on board. Please don't watch the piloted episode 1, which has been circulated on the internet, which wasn't a finished copy, and doesn't show us in our best light. And is also illegal.
Okay, yes, which is a fair point. What was it that got pirated then?
Episode 1, a very bad early version of episode 1, was seen by some people and reviewed.
And that isn't helpful.
It's not helpful at all. No, it's called spoilers, and they've not seen us in our full glory. That happens on Saturday at 7:00.
Rob says Simon, Chris is either the 8th or the 10th Doctor, not the 9th, as you said earlier. Christopher Lee played the Doctor in a film. Oh, that was Peter Cushing, wasn't it? Peter
Cushing played.
Yeah, he's got that. He's correcting me, and I think we're correcting him.
That means you don't count the brilliant Paul McGann, and I'm the 9th Doctor.
You are?
Yeah, I'm the 9th Doctor, according to Russell T Davies and his canon. There's this thing with Doctor Who fans about, is it canon? I think I'm 9. Okay. I'm 8. Paul McGann was 8th.
Darren Cox in Newcastle says, Simon, please do the classic Doctor Who joke with Chris. You know, the knock knock. Who's there?
Right. Are we going to do it?
I don't know. Would it be desperately cheap?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who?
Joe Sale.
The nation.
A nation tittered, or was it just Joe Sale?
Yeah.
Okay, your questions for Christopher Eccleston. Mayo at bbc.co.uk. Call for free 0500 909 6.